Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Here with your latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and the very latest on the United Takeover. So thank you very much for joining in with me this fine Tuesday evening, wherever you guys are. Thank you for joining in. So let's get down to business. We have it in the chat. This is something that has come out on the Takeover today. So this is coming from Al Raya. It's a newspaper that is published in Doha, Qatar, and they are reporting that it's expected the United purchase will the contracts will be done and it could be complete within the next few hours. Now, let's let's just talk about this for 1 second, because whilst we want this to be done, whilst we want this takeover to be complete, I don't believe this. And I do not believe this for 1 minute. I think this is jumping the gun. I do not think that we are in this position where contracts are being signed, because we would have heard more about it, and we would have heard about it from every source all at once. And as well as that, it is, of course, the 4th of July. So the stock market, I do not believe, is even open today. So I really doubt the validity of this. I do not think that there's any agreement made. I do not think that we have managed to get to a point where the contracts are being signed. What we want, of course, is the takeover done. We want it done as quickly as possible. We've been waiting weeks upon weeks for this, but I don't think this is real. I don't think this is legit. Let's see who's down there. Kale is saying, what's up, Stefan? Hello, everyone. Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining in, Kale. Really appreciate that, man. So getting back to this takeover, look, it's something we want to see. I get that, but I just don't believe it. I honestly just think that this might be just jumping the gun. I think this might just be the usual nonsense that we have been seeing. Let's see. Stephen is down there, dead 226. Breaking news. There is no news. Absolutely, man. That's the latest we have. Look, that is basically the only update we have had in a week. What I would love to be the case, and I would absolutely say this is beyond hope and hope, is that the takeover is coming to a close behind the scenes and everyone's saying tight lips about it. But I mean, we are Manchester United. Everything leaks out of us. We are like a sieve. Everything that comes in, it comes back out again, of course. So I don't believe this for a minute. I'm just putting it out there for you guys because I think it's important that we do talk about it, because there's a lot of false stuff going around. We want to try pick out the good stuff from the bad. We want to let you guys know what you can trust, what you cannot trust. And I don't think we can trust that report, unfortunately. Rajat is down there saying, hi, good to see you, Rajat, man. Thank you for joining in. So let's get down to stuff we actually can trust. Let's get down to the actual proper news, because we have quite a bit. So coming in, first of all, this is coming from Italian sources. We will be talking about Sofyan Amrabat, because this is a player who it basically kind of jumped out that we had agreed personal terms with, and this came out several days ago, and we saw nothing really about that. But what we have seen in recent days is progression. There is definitely an interest from United in Amrabat. This is a player we went in for in January before we got Sabitzer. So I think there might be something in this. I think a second midfield target is very unlikely at this moment. Budget constraints, everything like that. Look, we need a striker, we need a goalkeeper, far more than we need another midfielder. But it would be another nice player to have in if we can sell some players and bring him in. Keel is saying there's rumours going around finance that the Glazers are waiting for the sponsors to chip in before leaving. Honestly, man, anything would not surprise me with those guys. Rajat is saying United needs a striker and players. We also need a goalkeeper as well. And Yusuf as well is saying good evening. Good to see you, man. Thank you, Yusuf, for joining in with us. So guys, we are running a poll down in the comments. We're asking you guys, what is the most important signing United can make? Will it be a striker, a goalkeeper, or another midfielder? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below on that one. And yeah, we'll see where we get to. Look, I am hoping beyond all hope that we manage to bring in a striker, a goalkeeper, and a midfielder, because I think that solves a lot of our issues. It means we have a backup for Casemiro, we have a striker now to score goals, we have a goalkeeper. Daniel is down there saying, what's up? Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining in, Daniel. Of course, big shout out to all the channel members. You guys genuinely are incredible. So thank you for the support, guys. So let's get talking here. Rosetta saying, what about fullback? Look, I would like a fullback. I would have loved Jeremy Frimpong. I thought that would be a brilliant signing for United, but I just don't think it will be priority. I think It's going to be goalkeeper, striker, probably another midfielder. We're quite well stacked in the full-back areas with Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, and then at left-back, of course, Luke Shaw and Malacia. So I think we are quite well sorted at the full-back positions. One of the few positions we're probably well stacked for players. We probably have enough for now. So let's get talking about Amrabat, because this is something that seems to be developing quite quickly. So we're going to talk about this. This is coming in from Daily Mirror. They're saying United are keen on signing Sofyan Amrabat. Will cost around about £25 million. So it's not a big signing, but it could be a very beneficial one. If we can bring in a guy to come in and give Casemiro nights off, we're gonna have a better Casemiro. We're gonna have a better team. Let's see who we got. Dan is saying, "Evening, pal. Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining in." Chris is saying as well, Onana should be priority. He will make a huge difference on how we play. And Sinkin is saying, this could take us to the January window. Absolutely, man. It might take us to the January window to even announce Mason Mount. That is something we are still waiting on. Medicals done yesterday. Photos done this morning. Pre-season starts Thursday, so let's hope that we get to see some Mount announcements tonight. Rajad is saying as well, hope United gets Amrabat depending on Fred leaving. Yeah, I think if we're replacing Fred for Amrabat, that's a big upgrade, a big upgrade in terms of what he will bring to the team. Obviously, two hard-working players, but Amrabat's quality on the ball is a lot higher, and Rajat is absolutely right. You know, we need CDMs. We do need defensive midfielders to come in. We have Casemiro. He is brilliant, but he cannot play every match. He needs rest periods, because we've seen what happens when we overplay the guy. You know, he is over 30, as good as he is. He doesn't have the legs to play 60, 70 matches across a season. You know, he does need his rest as well. Yusuf is saying, any news about Qatar? Well, man, let's talk about Qatar, because I had this actually just up at the very start of the stream. So this is coming in. It's coming in from Al Raya. This is a Qatari-based newspaper in Doha. Now, look, I do not believe these reports. I will put that out there. I do not think this is anything that's actually happening, but they have said that Qatar are reporting it's going to be expected that the contract will be signed with the Glazer family within the next few hours. So they're saying it could be close to a done deal. Now, whether that happens, I will be very surprised. Look, we haven't seen much movement on this. It's the 4th of July, stock market closed. I don't think we're going to see anything today. I think we saw the big announcement from Rio Ferdinand yesterday. You know, he thought something was going to happen today. And I think what happens is people look at what Ferdinand said on his podcast, and now they're looking at this Qatari report, and they're saying this must have been what Rio Ferdinand was talking about. I don't believe it. I wish it was true, because I just want this takeover done. As somebody said earlier, day 226 now of this, and it genuinely is dragging on and on and on. So let's see who else is down in the comments. We have RSF saying, hopefully the entire Glazers and yes man, Fletcher, Arnold, Murda are fired immediately once the new owners take over. Yeah, I hope so as well. Look, we've been saying this for a long time on the channel. One of our biggest problems, it's the guys running the club. The Glazer family, for as bad as they are, and they are the worst owners imaginable, they do not actually take a really big role in actually running Manchester United. It's always the yes men running it for them. It's always the Arnolds. It's always the Murdas, the Woodwards. It's guys like that who have had every bit as much blame that the Glazers have. Now, ultimately, of course, the blame will lie with the Glazer family. They're the ones who hired these guys in the first place. But on a day-to-day basis, it is the likes of Murda and Arnold and Woodward and guys like that who have been at this club for years upon years, who are every bit as culpable, and their heads need to roll as well. We need to have a proper clear out at board level, in my opinion. Let's see, Dan is down there. We don't want 6/7 again. Absolutely, man. Rajat says one additional centre midfielder. And we have Greg as well saying, I feel like we should concentrate on priority signings. For the moment, goalkeeper and striker, and then when the new owners are in, hopefully make some signings later in the window or in January. Look, I think that's a brilliant plan. I think if I was running Manchester United, that's what I would want to do, because we're not going to be able to spend in this window. It will not take any real effect. What we can do is spend in January. We can bring in the really priority positions, as Greg has said, and then we can go in January. We can maybe buy another centre back or another backup CDM, something like that. The bonus signings that will help to really round out the team, round out the squad. That's what we should be doing, in my opinion. So Let's get talking on the big story as well, because we're talking Andre Onana. Definitely a player United want, a player who wants to come to Manchester United as well. I think this is heading towards done deal territory. So Manchester United, in the early hours of this morning, made the first offer for Onana, around about 40 million euros, which is kind of what Inter Milan wanted. Now, DiMarzio have said 40 million. When we were talking as well, it was Padula had said Manchester United 40 plus 5, and it is not enough. Now, Inter, they want a minimum of 50 million pounds. Let's see what happens. I think we're getting closer. We are edging towards a deal. We are negotiating. I think we're going to get there. I think we get there very soon, in my opinion, because we need a goalkeeper. We desperately need to sign a goalkeeper for this team. It is so imperative that we go out and bring in a goalkeeper, because De Gea is gone. De Gea has gone. And what we have to do now is bring in someone to come in and replace him. And I think it has to be Andre Onana. Let's see, Rajat is saying McTominay needs to leave. RSV is saying, I would love it if we rehired Raniuk and bring in Paul Mitchell. Would be a cheat code for footballing men to be working with Ten Hag. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Footballing men making footballing decisions. And not just ex-players, but guys who actually have had an in-depth run of how to run a football club, how to set up scouting departments, how to bring in legacy players, players who you're looking at who is going to replace Casemiro. That's what we want to see. Who've we got down here? Dan is saying Deadwood, rest window, get a striker and a goalkeeper, CDM, and use Shaw as centre back when needed. January Qatar attack window. Look, I think that's realistic. I think that could be the way forward for United. That might be what we're going for. Chatsport is saying Lukaku available. Oh man, we don't want to see Lukaku back. We have had Lukaku already. We don't want to go back there. Rizad is saying, have United already made the first bid? Yes, United had put a bid in last night. Does not look like it's going to happen. And I don't think it's going to be accepted. I think Inter will reject the first bid. They want 50 million euros. We have offered 40. We were offering 5 million in add-ons, yes, but I think United's next bid will be 40 plus 45 plus 5 in add-ons. That might be accepted. It might not be accepted. We will have to see what happens, but I think we will get there. It will be a 2 or 3 bid deal, but eventually it will get done. Lucky Singh as well is saying the stock price is going to push tomorrow 25.30. If we get anything as a big break, I mean, we might do. It will be interesting. Stock market, of course, closed today. So that's why I think this report that it's come in from Qatari sources, I think we can ignore it, because I don't think if it's the stock market being closed, United are anywhere close to being sold. Even if it was done, it would have to be tomorrow as well. Let's see how the stock market actually reacts. It will be interesting to see where the share price goes. I'm hoping it goes up, because that will mean there's more insider confidence. There's more belief that United will be sold coming from those guys. So any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them down below into the comments. And I'm asking you guys on the poll tonight, what is more important for us to sign? Is it a striker? Is it a goalkeeper? Or is it another midfielder? Let me know. A lot of you guys are going with striker early doors, but I think both are as important as each other, because at the moment we have no goalkeeper, we have no striker, so we need to bring both in. Absolutely. Brian is down there. Let's keep away from it. Like it was on Mount. Yeah, I mean, that will probably be the plan. I think what we have to do is get to Inter's asking price before we do the offer on the table. We're going to walk away before doing that routine. I think we have to at least get to their asking price. Dan is saying in offer Inter anyone in exchange for Onana. Look, I think we could. I mean, Inter Milan, they've been linked with Donny van de Beek. They've been linked with Fred. Maybe they want to take some of those players. It would be good. Yusuf is saying get a DM. Look, I think we need a striker or a goalkeeper first, because having no striker and no goalkeeper, they are two of the most important positions. We need to go out and bring in players down there. Let me see. Ramazan is saying, good evening. I'm Rama from Uganda. Thank you very much for joining in, Rama. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, I'm Stefan from Ireland. So other side of the world, everyone's still united with the love of Manchester United, of course. So let's get talking here, because Sky Sports are reporting Manchester United and Inter Milan are currently working to make an agreement worth 50 million euros for Andre Onana. So a deal is getting closer. I feel like we're going to get there. Let me see. Chatsport is saying in our team lacks gold. Look, it does. Absolutely. The team lacks gold. But in a really strange way, I think a goalkeeper adds to that, because if we're going to be building up properly, we're playing out of the back much better, we're going to open teams up, especially early doors, and it will mean better chances, more goals, will be absolutely important. But a striker as well, definitely need both players, in my opinion. Let me see. Jason Riley is saying, yes, we need goals badly. Absolutely, man. Chris is saying FFP is around 60%, so it's fine. Although 70% limit in a couple of years, they want us to keep below that ideally. Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Nathan McSweeney says, we're interested. FC, bored of it. Yeah, man, absolutely. It's monitoring FC. It's looking at, it's keeping an eye on, it's interested. You know, sooner or later we have to make a bid. Sooner or later we have to actually go and attack this market. Now, look, we've got Mount in, make no mistake about it. It's a good signing, but it took weeks upon weeks to get a guy who has 1 year left on his contract. It is United inefficiency. Look, as we know, United, we're always going to get linked to players who we're not actually in for. Happens all the time. One of the first examples I can remember, we're probably going back Wesley Schneider, we're going back Nicholas Gaitan era. So this has been a long going thing at United. What we will see is these fake reports, but what we have to do is players who we genuinely are interested in, let's go sign them. Let's go and bring them in. Lucky is saying the stock price will be up. I hope so, man. Alama is saying, hi bro, good to be back on your channel. Keep it up. You're most needed now, a striker. We need more than a holding midfielder like Amrabat. Thank you very much, man. I agree, completely agree. Gonna have to be the striker, gonna have to be the goalkeeper. We cannot go into the season without a striker or a first choice goalkeeper. No one wants to see Martial up front next season. Nobody wants to see Tom Heaton in gold. So we gotta do it. We gotta go big in this market on those important signings, and it will really transform this team, in my opinion. So let's get talking here. So we have Manchester United tabled a 40 million offer for Andre Onana, but Inter are asking for 60. So look, we know that already. That's their ideal valuation. They're going to accept 50. United were offering 40. We have to get the 50 million mark. It's how we get there. What United could do is just offer the 50, but then Inter might ask for more. So they might try to stretch this out. They might try to elongate it. Make no mistakes, United could be capable of anything. We got Sandy down there saying GGMU, and I believe that is Jamaican flags, but I am a little bit far from my screen. So thank you, man. And that's amazing. Like guys from Uganda, guys from Jamaica on the channel here. Unreal. Thank you very much, guys. So Lucky is saying the four siblings are determined to go like the rest of us. Yeah, absolutely. And I hope that Joel and Avram are too. Let's get rid of those guys. Let's bring them in for sure. And Lucky is saying we need to hit the price with Inter. Dan is saying we need 2 strikers because of Rashford injuries or Glass Martial. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I do think we need 2 strikers. And early in the window, we've seen reported many times Erik ten Hag wanted an experienced striker and he wanted a young striker. So we want to have a mix. We want to bring in 2 attacking players. Now, that for me makes a lot of sense because we play with 1 striker. So if we keep Martial, bring in an experienced striker, there's 2, and we bring in a young striker, that is 3 strikers, and Rashford can play there as well. So we're kind of covered at the striking position if we do that. Ashid is saying good evening. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for joining in, Ashid. Sandy is saying, yeah, man, Jamaica. Thank you very much, man. Honestly, like, the support from you guys is incredible. I mean, I'm sitting here in Ireland. I have guys from Uganda. I have guys from Jamaica. Unbelievable. I mean, United, it's genuinely a worldwide club, and everybody wants to know what is going on. So here's one that's going to excite some people, especially Lucky Singh, because I know you like these players. So this is coming in from Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail. He is reporting that Manchester United are holding talks over Rasmus Hojlund, Randall Kolo Muani, and Andre Onana. So there's going to be the goalkeeper. Maybe we get 2 strikers. Let's see what happens on that one. I think either Muani or Hojlund would be brilliant, but I know some of you guys would be very excited about that. Let's see who got the Poochie's down there saying, I love United, man. That's class, man. Thank you very much for joining in. Really appreciate it. Ron John as well saying Hojlund and Ferguson. That could be lovely, honestly, man. A young Irish striker, I would love to see it, and we'd love to see Hojlund as well. And Sinkin is saying once we get Onana and Amrabat through the door, we'll go on a selling spree to fund a striker. Thank you for that. We do actually have a report on that, by the way, guys. So it's probably too big to fit into the comments, but let's get talking on it, because Romano was saying United are willing to sell 7 players in this transfer window. And those 7 players, it's Dean Henderson, Harry Maguire, Tales, Bailly, then we've got Donny van de Beek, we've got Elanga, and we have Fred. So that is 7 players we could potentially sell. So if we sell all those players, I would expect, knowing United, I don't know, like 50, 60 million. That is a second striker. That is another player brought in. And I think that's realistic. I think if we have a budget of 120 million, we spend 55, we spend 50 on Onana, we've got about 15 million there. And if we sell those players, that's going to be an extra 60 million. So we would have around about 60 to 70 million pounds to buy a striker. That's what I think, that's what a good club would do. Now, whether United do it, who knows? Let's see who else is down there. Yusuf is saying, believe in Ten Hag. Dan wants Maguire to leave. And Lucky says, might see Amrabat. And Chat says, Chatsport says most on massive wages. Absolutely, man. And Robert as well. Waste of weeks. 2 for Onana deal. United are jokers. Yep, we are jokers. We are a bit of a laughing stock in the transfer community, in the footballing community, and I hope it changes. This is why I think one of the most important things that Sheikh Jassim can do if he buys United is clear house. Get rid of Richard Arnold, Matt Judge, Darren Fletcher, John Murdoch. Get rid of the guys who have been in charge of this mess of a club for years upon years, and we will be better off for it. If we have guys who know what they're doing running the club, you can make a big difference, and you don't even need a massive amount of spending. I mean, look at Brighton, for instance. They have built a brilliant team on a very small budget. It can be done. So if we have a brilliant team and Manchester United's budget, we should have one of the best teams around for sure. Chris is saying inevitable Maguire will want to stay. Absolutely. I feel like it's going to happen. I feel like the only clubs that he might go to would be a Tottenham Hotspur or someone of that level. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like he's going to look at West Ham being interested, or even Aston Villa, and think, I'm better than that. I feel like that's going to happen. Sinkin is saying Maguire 35 to 40 million. I mean, I would love that. I think more realistic is probably 20 million. I think clubs would pay that much for Maguire, but let's hope. Sinkin is saying Fred 15 to 20. Yeah, I think that's a fair valuation on Fred. I mean, he's a good player. I would have added Scott McTominay to that list because I think that he is more sellable. We can get more money from McTominay, and Fred is better anyway. So I think that would have done better for us. I feel like we're keeping hold of McTominay for some reason. He is a very protected player, as we know. So I would like to see a proper clear out this summer. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. It might take longer than expected. Liman is done there. Will the Glazers get the right people to run the club? Remember, Abramovich stole Peter Kenyon to run Chelsea when he bought them. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big things. I think what we really need is proper ownership and proper guys running the club. I think that will make a bigger difference to United than anything else. Because look, players come and go, managers, they come and go. The guys who are at the top of the club, they typically stay for a very long time. Let's see those guys go, and let's see somebody else brought in, someone who will make us better on the pitch. Chat United said United used to get players that wanted to come in lower wages, but now United pay big wages to get them in. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. It's like, because we haven't been finishing Champions League football a lot over the last 10 years, we're trying to make up for it with massive wages. And I feel like that's really hurting us now, because we have the likes of Harry Maguire on 250,000 a week, Anthony Martial 250,000 a week, Jadon Sancho on 350,000 a week. I mean, these wages are ridiculous. They are so unsustainable, and it makes it so hard to try sell a player on if they do not work out. Let me see. Chris is saying rumors that AS Roma and Brighton are interested in McTominay. Honestly, man, they can have it. They can have McTominay. I hope they have a good bidding war between them. I would love to see McTominay go, because this is a guy who is 26 years old now, and he's not going to get any better. and he isn't good enough for us in the first place. So we need to get rid of him. Lucky is saying Alex Tella is ready for Braga, 5 million permanent. Could be. I mean, yeah, Chatsport 250 for a centre back. Absolutely, man. I mean, look, we were paying David De Gea near 400,000 a week. We were paying Ronaldo like 500,000 a week. I mean, the wages we have paid have been insane, and I'm pretty sure Alexis Sanchez was on even more than that when he was at the club. So, I mean, we have just been paying people with a lot of money, trying to get them in, and I feel like that has just really cost us because nobody wants to pay these wages to these players because they're not good enough. That's the biggest thing to take away here. Let me see. Sinkin is saying Brighton don't like to spend money. Lucky is saying we want the exit done. And Luman says, why do you not talk about Rashford crazy wages of 375,000 a week? Look, I think Rashford is on crazy money when this deal goes through, but until like we actually see proper reports on who's how much they're paying, I'm not going to make too much in in terms of any real comments. I mean, I think whenever it's signed, we'll probably find out how much his wages is. So I think then we can make a judgment. I think it will be big. It will be over 300,000 a week, but I would like to hope it's on the lower end. I mean, look, I completely understand as well. If you're Rashford and you're going in to negotiate a contract and you see Jadon Sancho on 350,000 a week, a guy who has scored 12 goals in 2 seasons, you're going to ask for as much money as that guy. And that's the problem here. Whenever you're paying players, look, if you pay your best player the most amount of money, and that's the fair thing because then you have set the precedent that if you're a good player, you will be paid more. And if you're the best player, you will be paid the most. United, for many years, the way we worked it as, Wayne Rooney was the top earner. And if you were better than Rooney, then you got to earn more money than him. So that's the difference here. Feel like I feel like there is this whole thing at United where we just overpaid players. It makes it so difficult to sell them on because people don't have to take a pay cut. I mean, nobody will pay Harry Maguire £250,000 a week. Nobody is going to pay Martial £250,000 a week. So I feel like we're giving too much to those guys. That's a big problem here. Dan is saying, I hope Radcliffe scurries off in a hole and tries to do dodgy deals with the Glazer. I mean, yeah, I feel like Radcliffe's bid, it's kind of dying a death. We did see reports today. Now, Radcliffe's going to have to restructure his deal. So that's going to drag it out if they're going to go with him. I hope they don't. I feel like they're going to give it to Sheikh Dassim. I feel like Qatar will win this. Now, look, in terms of what we've seen from the actual stuff today coming from the Doha newspapers, I don't believe that for a minute because stock exchange closed. There won't be any sort of announcement today, regardless. So I feel like that is something that is there to be considered. Dan is saying Rashford's contract still needs sorted. Yeah, I feel like it's almost done, but it's not quite signed off, is the difference here. So let's get talking as well, guys, because there was something else I wanted to bring up on the notes. So Fenerbahce are set to have a meeting with David De Gea's agent this week and will make him an offer. So this is coming in from Turkish sources. Whether or not this happens, I do feel like this could happen. I feel like other clubs will be looking at David De Gea, and United, we're going to have to sign Onana because De Gea's going to go somewhere else. He has no reason to sit and wait for United to make a decision. He's probably been disrespected on his way out. So if I was De Gea, I would be looking for a new club. Absolutely, I wouldn't come back to United. Chatsport says Maguire could just sit the 2 years out, nearly 20 million in wages. Yep, absolutely. We've seen it with Phil Jones. We've seen it with lots of players. They're happy to sit and take the money. And I feel like that comes down to the ambition of the players. We have to be bringing in guys who want to actually win things at the club, who want to play and have that ambition in their career. Far too many players, look, so many players we have bought have managed to come to United. And what they have done is say, I'm at United now, I've made it. And they've took it easy. They've took their foot off the pedal. They're sitting back and resting on their laurels. You should be coming to United to take that next step to win trophies. United, we're bringing in players who think putting on the United shirt itself is a trophy. It isn't. As great as it is to play for United, what you have to do when you get there is keep on playing hard, keep on working hard to try earn your place, stay there and win things. That's what United players are judged on, not on appearances or on how often they're fit or whatever. It's how much trophies they win. We are and always have been the biggest club in England, the biggest club in the world. we have to start acting like it. We need to have players who are going to treat it that way. Let me see. Ahmed is down there. You better believe Rihanna will be sung at Old Trafford if Onana sends. Yeah, absolutely, man. It will write itself. It will be the Onana, what's my name? Make no mistake about it. We will be hearing it from the Red Army. Lucky Singh is saying Avram is leaning towards tomorrow's stock rise at $25.10. Thinking is saying our wages is now because of Ed Woodward's era. Ten Hag knows players' value and he won't offer ridiculous contracts. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think that's the thing. It's like, whenever Woodward was here, he had a whole big thing where it could be if a player earned £10 million in a year and had a 5-year deal, then he could add £50 million onto the value. And that was done for the stock market, that was done for the business end. So it made sense to give these big money contracts on long-term years to players who do not deserve them, because it made United look better on the balance sheet. And now it's finally turned around, it's caught up with us because we have all these players we can't sell, and the FFP rules mean we have to sell to buy and we can't sell. So like, we're kind of stuck in the middle between a rock and a hard place. It's like we have to sell to buy and we cannot sell the players in the first place. So United, it is a mess as always. It is very frustrating. I think honestly, when a new ownership comes in, they need to be ruthless. A lot of these guys who have made these decisions over the years, they need to go. They need to be gone as soon as possible. Make no mistake about it, because it's getting beyond a joke. This has been going on for many, many years at this point, and I want to see United actually be efficient, actually be ruthless in the market, and actually do stuff. So that's what we want to see. Let's see, Lucky Singh is saying we have to act better. Yep, absolutely. We brought so many players who had no work rate as players. Yep, absolutely. Ashid says Mount medical pass now for the announcement, and he will meet up with the players on Thursday. Yep, does look like that. Sky Sports have said the Mount deal is expected to be announced in the next 24 hours. I hope so. And let's see, Lucky is saying we also have £728 million in debt. We do, unfortunately, man. And on top of that, we've got like 300 million in unpaid transfer fees. So we have all this debt. We have very bad FFP, and we've been buying players on Klarna for years now. So it is very frustrating. I am so tired of it. I think we need a whole change. Like, we genuinely need a top to bottom change at this club. Dan is saying, what will be Mount's shirt number? I don't know, man. I feel like it might be number 19, because I don't think we actually have a number 19 at Manchester United. So it is a free number. He has worn it at Chelsea. So I feel like that probably makes the most sense. I mean, unless he comes in and gets given the number 7, we'll see what happens. The Mount deal looks like it is about to be announced. Mason Mount has done a farewell video to Chelsea fans. So that is up on his Twitter. So fully expect the announcements coming in very shortly on Mason Mount, and maybe we'll find out what his shirt number will be. But yeah, we were told he would do a farewell video for Chelsea fans before the deal was announced. That is up on his Instagram, that is up on Twitter. So it does look like we will be getting that announcement tonight. Let's see, what time are we at? We are at 20 past 8. I feel like we'll either get it at 9 o'clock tonight, or we won't get it full stop. Varane does wear 19, is right, man. But as Sinkin says, if we give Varane number 4, I feel like that's going to be a good idea. Chat is saying another point is Ten Hag doesn't trust the recruitment team at United. Martinez, Onana, Anthony, Malacia, Ericsson, Weghorst, all players he has worked with. Yeah, absolutely, man. I feel like that is true, because the recruitment team is terrible. The director of football, it's terrible. So Erik Ten Hag has come in. He's had to do everything on the fly. I feel like he's trying to bring players in who he knows, who he has worked with. And I feel like that's the big thing. I feel like that's what we did last season. Ahmad is saying number 7, no chance. I don't think so, man. I feel like I genuinely feel like Garnacho is going to be the number 7. I feel like Garnacho will be number 7 at Manchester United next season. Let me see. Zakari as well is saying, welcome. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for joining in. And Ronnie is saying, what's your opinion on the speculation of the takeover from the Qatari newspaper? Well, all right, Ronnie, man, it's good to see you. Well, I did say this at the start of the stream, so this is like one of the first things we did going in. I don't believe it for several reasons. Now, number 1, it's only been that Qatari newspaper, Al Raya, who has reported this. So questions have to be asked, because United, we leak like a sieve. If there genuinely is a takeover happening imminently, everybody would be knowing about it. So I feel like that's unlikely. And then when we also consider as well that the stock exchange is closed today for the 4th of July, I feel like it's probably trying to jump the gun. It's one of those things, it's like, if it actually happens in the next day or two, this newspaper will look like they're very reliable, and that will be better for them. People do that all the time. I don't believe it personally. Sinkin is saying the only certain numbers at the minute is Rashford, Casemiro, Bruno, Martinez, Shaw. The rest could move around. Yep, they absolutely could. I feel like Garnacho 7's going to happen. I actually did a wee short video on it today. I was going to put it up, but didn't get it up before the stream. But I feel like he will be the number 7. I think in terms of the guys we have at the club, he's got that sort of aura about him. He has that sort of self-confidence that's going to be needed to wear such a massive shirt for Manchester United. And I feel like Garnacho will be the number 7, in my opinion. So, guys, let's have a look at this poll. So, I had asked you guys, what is more important to sign next? A striker, a goalkeeper, or a midfielder? Only 1% of you guys have gone for midfielders. We also have 35% are saying a goalkeeper, and 64%. A lot of you guys want the striker in next, so that definitely looks to be it. Let's see. Gregory is saying, in my opinion, it's too early to give Garnacho the number 7. Yeah, I feel like it might be, but if anybody is ready for it, it's probably going to be Garnacho. I feel like we could give it to him next season. That could be my personal idea, but I feel like we're going to jump the gun on it. So he'll either sink or float with it. I think Garnacho has the attitude, has the mentality, has the sort of self-belief that he can make it work. Whether or not he does, it's going to be another thing. But we've had this number 7 shirt for a long time. This curse has been going on for a very long time. Obviously, we're looking at Michael Owen, we're looking at Memphis Depay, we're looking at Antonio Valencia, all wearing that number 7. I think Garnacho could be the next guy to come in. Let's see. No, man, I don't think Stephanie is in the chat tonight. Yeah, so Mason Mount has done his farewell video for Chelsea. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen. It looks like this announcement will be coming soon. The first pictures of Mount in a United kit will be coming soon. And Satwan is down there saying the Qatar takeover 100%. Thank you very much for that one. Look, I think it might happen. I feel like it's far more likely that it will happen, but I don't think we're there just yet. I feel like this is going to go on for a long time. Sinkin is saying goalkeeper is priority. I would personally say goalkeeper. We actually do not have a first-team goalkeeper at the moment. I feel like that's going to be the issue. We do have a report coming out here as well. So this is good news for Manchester United. So this is coming in from Aksam Spor, which is a Turkish radio station apparently, and they are saying that Galatasaray want to sign Alex Telles and Anthony Elanga. That could be 2 players we need to sell. That could be 2 sales done that United desperately need, because I feel like Elanga has no real future at United, and Alex Telles has already been told he will not be part of the project. So I feel like that's going to be a good move for both those players if we get it done. That's what I want to see. Sinkin is saying striker, if we don't get by the end of the window, I think we can work on it. And Ashid is saying both strikers and goalkeeper are important. Yeah, absolutely, man. At the moment, we've only got Anthony Martial. And we know already Martial is going to miss 20 plus matches next season. We also do not have a first choice goalkeeper now. We have Dean Henderson, who's about to go to Nottingham Forest. We have De Gea, who has left us. And we have Tom Heaton. So we need both players. We need both positions strengthened. And I think that's going to be our transfer window. I feel like goalkeeper, striker, midfielder, that will be the spine of the team kind of strengthened. Anything else, it's a bonus. It's going to rely on sales. I think we will bring in somebody else. I'm going to personally say 4 signings this season for United. I feel like this Amrabat link might be the kind of deal we go for. A smaller value deal, £25 million, wouldn't be that much to raise in terms of sales if that's what we want to go for. Dan is saying Rashford, Martial, Hojlund and O'Neill on the tour. Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Hojlund. It's a big opportunity for Charlie McNeil, going into the tour. And it's only going to be Martial, because Rashford will play a lot on the left. They will have the opportunity to impress. So I hope they do well. And it will be the same for Mateo Kovar, because we're going without De Gea. We might be going without Dean Henderson. So it's only going to be Heaton and Kovar on the tour. So it's an opportunity for him as well. Greg is saying Garnacho will be a big player, but honestly, in time, I think you can put him in the bracket of best. Robson, Cantona, and Beckham is a great number 7. The young lad has bags of potential. Yeah, honestly, man, he really does have so much potential, all the ability in the world. And I think the biggest thing for Garnacho, the biggest thing I can point towards is he has that self belief and that you cannot teach it. And he knows he is good, but he keeps working harder, and he knows that he can beat any fullback in the game. He knows that he just keeps going. He backs himself, and that's something that we want to see. Let's see. Lucky Singh is saying Kolo Muani, Amrabat, Mason Mount, and um, Vin Diesel. I don't know, man. That's it. Am I misreading that? Or are we saying Vin? Oh, I think it's Diazzi, is it? I read that, and actually, it does say Vin Diesel as well. It's all about the family, as you guys know. Let's see. Roddy is saying centre half before another midfielder. Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like that's going to be most realistic. We need a centre back. Like, make no mistake about it. But I feel like the other positions they probably need done first. We have Niraj in there. Goalkeeper is priority because De Gea left. I agree, and we are working on this Onana deal. So this is a deal United are working hard on. It looks like the first bid has gone in. I think it has been rejected, or it will be rejected, because Inter said they wanted a minimum of 50 and we gave them 40. So they're going to tell us to come back with more. That will happen. I'm just hoping United manage to get it done. I feel like it's a deal that we need. I feel like Onana comes in and completely transforms this team, what we will play like. I want to see him brought in as soon as possible, because it's not going to be like bringing a Hojlund in or bringing a Gonzalo Ramos or any other striker, because they're going to come in, they'll fit in quite nicely. It's going to take United a while to get used to Andre Onana's game, because it will genuinely change everything on the pitch, because he will sweep up, he will come out of his box. So the backline is going to be playing much higher up the pitch. We're going to see the midfield pushed up higher. The whole team will be playing a lot higher up the pitch. And Niraj is saying, what do you think? Can sign Onana now? Al Nazir is also interested in signing him. And Ashid says, seeing the goodbye message from Mason Mount for leaving the club. Yep, he is coming to United. Look, and as for what Niraj is saying, I don't believe it. I mean, they might be interested. They might go for it, but I don't think they're going to go for it. I feel like Onana wants the Premier League move. Look, if he goes at 27, that's kind of it, you know. By the time a contract would be done there, he'd be in his 30s. So this is kind of Onana's time to make the big move. And look, that's no disrespect to Inter Milan. They are a very big team, but this is a bigger team. United, we are the biggest team in football. This might be his only chance at getting this move, because otherwise we're going to go bring someone else in. He will want this move. Ten Hag wants him. He wants to come to United. It's about doing a deal. It's getting the fee agreed. That's the most important thing. Let me see. Tijani is saying, have they bought Man United? Not yet, man, but we are getting close. I feel like every day we'll be getting that little bit closer. There was a report came out from Qatari newspapers that a deal was done and would be signed within the next hours. I don't believe that. I don't think it's going to happen personally, because nobody else is reporting on it. The stock market is closed. But I do think we are slowly but surely getting towards the end of this, and I think that's nothing but a good thing. Dan is saying we'll beat a lot of teams well at home. Get Onana, and if Mount is on the season, United will be something else at home. Absolutely, man, and we will be pressing better, because Onana will mean we can play higher up the pitch. Mount will make us press better, and will make more opportunities. So I feel positive. I'm feeling confident. I want to see that striker brought in as well as Onana, because I feel like that will be the icing on the cake, because we'll have the goalkeeper sorted. We can play out from the back. We'll be playing much higher up the pitch. Our team press will be a lot better. We will make so many more opportunities with Mount and Bruno in there in midfield. All we need then is somebody to put them in the back of the net. And there will be chances for Rashford. There will be chances for Anthony or Sancho or Bruno. Everybody needs to step up their game. Everybody needs to keep on doing what they were doing last season. And I feel like we will be a much better team next season. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see what a proper Erik ten Hag Manchester United team will look like. So Lucky is saying we could get it done soon. Sinkin is saying, please Qataris hurry up. Yeah, man. Look, the delays on the Glazer family. The Qataris have put 5 bids in. They cannot really do too much more. I feel like it's just dragging out the time. And we do actually have an update coming in from the Daily Mail. So this is coming, and Brighton goalkeeper Robert Sanchez has emerged as a potential target for Manchester United. Whether or not this happens, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sign a player who is leaving his club because he fell out with his manager. I mean, it doesn't scream great. It doesn't scream like a great professionalism. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I don't know. I don't want Robert Sanchez. I want to see David Raya if we're buying a Premier League goalkeeper. Let me see. Eric is saying, how far with the takeover? Look, I will say this: the Qatari reports coming in from Doha's newspaper Al Raya, I don't believe them. We are still a while away from this. I feel like it will take more time. Look, we are getting closer. I feel like the Qataris are a lot closer than what Radcliffe is going to be. So I feel like we are slowly but surely getting there. It's happening at a snail's pace. It would be more entertaining to watch paint dry on the wall, but we are slowly but surely getting there. Make no mistake about it. It's just taking so long, and it is sucking the life out of us. Honestly, guys, we are getting so bored of talking about the takeover. We just want it done. We want to be a normal club. Let me see. Ahmad is saying Ineos owner Radcliffe accuses US regulator of being hostile to business, according to Financial Times. Look, I'm not surprised. I mean, Radcliffe has been complaining about a lot of things. Look, I think here's the thing about Radcliffe. He has to restructure the bid because United's minority shareholders were going to sue the Glazer family and Radcliffe over the takeover. It's also happening because the interest rates are going up. His borrowing stuff wouldn't work as well as what it once would. So he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. So let's hope that Sheikh Tassim can get a deal done between now and then. Let's hope we can be sold, and let's hope that we can finally get moving on from the Glazer nightmare. It has been a long time coming. We've been here almost 20 years. It's what, early 2005? We're now halfway through 2023. So, I mean, this has been going on for so long, guys, and I'm sure you guys are as fed up with it as what I am. I just want it done. I want to see a new owner brought in and new guys running the club, because that's going to be the biggest difference to this Manchester United team. Sorry guys, let me just do this here and that. There we go. Let me just put that in there as well, guys. Yes, so big shout out there to Dan as well. Radcliffe needs to pull out. I would love it, because it would mean the sale will be done. Membership link is down there in the comments for anyone interested as well. Of course, big shout out to our existing members. We got Daniel, Big T, Dan, and Hot Fuzz, 4 legends. Thank you very much for all the support. And as well, guys, loads of people liking the stream. Thank you very much for all that. So, Lucky is saying, if we get the stock market high enough tomorrow, we might get something bid. Yeah, I feel like that might happen. It was, of course, BBC who said, if it gets to around $30, it's a done deal. That's what they were saying. Let's hope that's true. Let's hope it's true, because I believe we're at 24. I think we're getting closer. I think we're getting closer and closer every week. So I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to be bringing this with you guys. Look, I mean, the night that when this takeover finally goes through, we will be on here all night. We will be celebrating. We will be having a United Philosophy party. You guys are all invited, and it will be brilliant. Make no mistake about it. Gregory is saying, in my opinion, the striker Hojlund can be good for us, and can be good for us than Kolomuwana. Yeah, I feel like Hojlund would be probably... Look, I'm going to call him second choice. I feel like Gonzalo Ramos would be my first choice, but I feel like it's not going to be realistic. I feel like we're going to be outpriced. Let's hope we can get Hojlund for something decent enough in terms of price, because clearly we're working on a small budget. I'm praying that we can get this done and bring in the striker we need. Hojlund might be that guy. Mehdi Taremi might be that guy. Let's see what happens. I really hope to see some movement on the striker. Look, if we can get Onana in before we go in pre-season, that would be brilliant. Of course, it starts this week. The first match is next week. Let's see if we can get a deal done by the end of the actual week. That could be ideal, because personal terms shouldn't be an issue. Lucky is saying, how much would you pay for Hojlund? I think Hojlund is probably a 40-45 million striker. I feel like that's a fair value. You know, he scored quite a few goals last season, but he is young as well, so that will add to his price. I feel like Atalanta are being ridiculous with their valuations up to 60, 70 million. If they're genuinely not going to budge, we want to walk away from that deal because we don't want to get rinsed again. Dan is saying Bureau clock when they sell. Let me see. Niraj is saying, will Greenwood be back to the squad? I don't know, man. I feel like we're going to get something soon with Mason Greenwood. They have to know what they're doing. We're seeing photos coming in of him training privately. He has got his hair cut, I guess, and he is back in training with a personal trainer and with a coach. Whether he comes back to United, I would be very surprised. I don't think it's going to happen next season, even if they wanted to bring him back. So I feel like what United will either do is try to get rid of him by releasing him from the contract. So if that happens, he's done at the club. If they loan him out, there might be a chance for him to come back. It will be interesting to see what happens. Hot Fuzz is down there. Good to see you, man. Hot tub stream when the Glazers sell. Absolutely, man. I will hire out a hot tub and everything for it. Don't worry. Thank you very much for joining in as well. Hot Fuzz, another one of our great channel members. He's actually running his own channel as well, guys. So if anybody does want some extra United content, make sure to give Hot Fuzz's channel a little check out as well. Plenty of videos on there. Sinkin is saying online disco. Lucky is saying Greenwood looking for a loan. Balba is saying Greenwood will be back to the squad. I don't think so. Ahmad is saying murmurs about Greenwood going on loan to Roma. Thank you very much. I feel like a loan will mean that Greenwood is going to come back at some stage. I feel like if we just sell him, he's obviously gone. If we release him, he's obviously gone. I feel like Greenwood might not have a way back into football in England. If he wants to rebuild a career, maybe it's going to be abroad. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Ronnie is saying, has any teams come in for Sancho, or how would we feel if we got 45 million for him? Well, we had a bid come in from Borussia Dortmund. Now, whether or not it's confirmed or not, I don't know. They were asking for him on loan, I think, so that's never going to happen. I would take 45 to 50 million. I feel like that's still a good fee to get for the guy, but I feel like we're going to give him one last chance. It will be a last... Apologies. Got all tongue twisted. It could be last chance saloon for Jadon Sancho this season. He'll either make it or break it this season. There's no excuse. It is his third season. He has to go out and actually perform on the pitch. He has to be decisive. He has to get the goals, get the assists, and put in the performances we expect of a player of that talent. We know the ability's there. It's gonna be turning that onto form on the pitch. If it doesn't happen this season, I think it never will for Manchester United. But I think that's a good point, Ronnie. So thank you very much for that. I feel like 50 million, I would take it because we can do a big bit of difference there. Eric is saying, I'm Eric from Ghana, a diehard supporter of Man United. We need Ramos. He is so good. Thank you very much for that as well. So we've had guys from Uganda, we've had guys from Jamaica, and now we've got Eric from Ghana. So thank you very much for joining in with us, Eric. Really, like, honestly, this really does blow my mind. I mean, I'm sitting here just in my house, and there's guys here from Jamaica, Uganda, got Ghanaians in here, you know, absolutely fantastic. So really do appreciate all the support, guys. Really do appreciate that. Let's see. Someone's actually noted as well, Mason Mount was pictured with having normal hair in his pet medical and stuff today, but he also had his hair bleached blonde. So he has pre-recorded that video for the Chelsea fans. Let's see, these are going in. Jaden has rise, guys, says, Lucky Singh. Chatsport says, keep Sancho. I feel like we will keep him, but it's going to be interesting to see. I want to see more from him. I want to see him deliver on the pitch. That's going to be the most important thing. Let me have a check at the poll as well for you guys. So we had asked you guys, what is the most important signing to bring in next? Will it be a striker, a goalkeeper, or a midfielder? And 67% of you guys have said a striker. Everybody wants those strikers brought in. Niraj is saying Ramos is a fit for Ten Hag style, but I don't think he'll move to Old Trafford. I would love him to. I feel like we're going to get priced out. Benfica, they want 80 million for him. We're not going to pay that much. Robert is saying as well, while other clubs are busy signing players, United are busy trying to sell, and the club let them waste time on selling. Yep, we are time wasting. It is unfortunate because, look, we're almost halfway through the first week of July, so time is ticking. Pre-season is starting soon. We're starting very soon back into the Premier League. It'll be about 5 weeks before Premier League football comes back. So time is ticking, tick tock. Time to get some work done. Time to bring some players in, get this club sold. That's what United have to be doing in the next couple of weeks. I want resolution. Look, ideally within the next 2 weeks, we'll see a bid agreed for the club. Hopefully, then ownership can change by the end of the window, start of September. Look, it will be too late to make any difference in this transfer window, but what we can do is go out and have a better January window. That's what we can do. We can improve in January with new ownership coming in. It'll clear the debt, of course, and that will mean more money we can spend. So I want to see that happen. I want to see these players brought in, give Erik ten Hag the chance to really make something happen with this team next season, because we don't want to write another season off. We have done this many times. We have basically said, we'll give you the funding next season. I want to see Erik ten Hag giving the backing he's deserved, because this man took a team from its worst ever Premier League's point tally to third in the league, winning a Carabao Cup, getting to the FA Cup final, quarter-finals, Europa League, all with a team without a striker. We let Ronaldo go. We brought in Wout Weghorst. We've had to play with David De Gea in goal, who doesn't suit the system. We've had to use Harry Maguire, Fred, McTominay. We need to see some proper backing for Erik ten Hag. He is clearly a world-class manager. Get him some world-class players, and then we will well and truly be on our way back. Let me see. Dan is saying this channel is more inclusive than others out there. Thank you very much for that, man. Look, obviously it helps that I'm a smaller channel, but I always do value you guys as well. I love reading you guys' comments, because otherwise, I mean, I'm just sitting talking here, and we always run over an hour, and I would run out of material within 20 minutes or half an hour without you guys. So much appreciated. Yuzuri is saying Onana is not a good goalkeeper. His footwork will put the team in trouble. I mean, I disagree. His footwork is brilliant with the ball at his feet. He's a good shot stopper. I feel like it's probably similar to De Gea, but I feel like the benefits are going to outweigh the negatives, so I feel like he will be a brilliant player for us. Niraj is saying it's very difficult to compete in the Champions League without a top-class striker. Glazers, please sell soon. Don't waste time. And Eric says, I know my name will deliver from Ghana, and I'm watching you live. Thank you very much for that, Eric. I really appreciate all you guys so much. Honestly, support is incredible. I'm expecting to see this Mason Mount announcement very soon if this farewell video has been made. I feel like 9 o'clock could be potential. That's what we could see. Let's see what's going to happen. So I'm excited for it. It's going to be good to have the first player signed this season. Let's hope there's lots more. Let's hope United can go out, really improve. Robert is saying as well, United new goalkeeper next season. If De Gea goes in goalpost next season, will be errors and disaster again. Thank you very much for that. And Ahmad is saying that's bold and completely false comment about Onana. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that at all. His footwork is brilliant. Like, it is genuinely maybe one of the best in the world. So I feel like that's probably not a real statement to make. Look, his shot stopping can be suspect from time to time, but so can any goalkeepers. I mean, we've seen against Real Madrid, Alisson, who's probably the best keeper in the world right now, made some terrible errors. Thibaut Courtois has done the same. We've seen Ederson do it. Top goalkeepers make mistakes, but the only difference is when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it usually leads to a goal. If a striker misses an easy chance, nobody talks about it really. But all top players, all top goalkeepers, they make mistakes, but it's about outweighing your benefits. If you're contributing more than you're letting in, or if you make 2 mistakes but you do 10 good things, then that's still a net positive. So I feel like that's going to be a good thing for us. Niraj is saying De Gea contract expires. He's not available for next season. Nope, absolutely not. It all depends if we want to re-sign him. United, we do have that negotiation tactic now where we can offer De Gea whatever we want. Whether or not he wants to take it, let's find out. We have seen links to Galatasaray. We have seen links to Fenerbahce, to Saudi Arabia, and to Spain. Let's see what happens. I feel like he will probably move on. I feel like it's probably time for him to move on. I feel like United are moving on. It's probably the best thing for both club and for the player. So I feel like that's most realistic. All right, guys. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave it here. My voice is slowly but surely going. I'm sure you guys can hear it. So thank you very much for joining in with us. I will be live same time tomorrow, 7:45 UK time. So guys, I will see you then. Have a very good Wednesday and enjoy the rest of your night. Let's hope we see this Mason Mount announcement very soon. All right, guys, take care. Thank you very much for all the support.